Hey, Warrior Saints, glad to have you beautiful people in with us. Christ is risen.
Truly is risen.
Hey-o, as we continue our Bright Week journey. And we're talking, yesterday, Father talked about reconciliation and what to do when you have that. I want to talk about how often are we supposed to do that? Because that's my struggle. Like, how many attempts do I make? How often do I go? What happens if they don't hear me? What happens if they don't want to listen? And when is enough enough? At what point do you say to yourself, like, I am not going to let you do this? Or, as we hear Arya Stark say, to the god of death, not today, right? Because it's at some point, like, there's a balance there, and we all feel it. I know that what God says in Matthew chapter 5 about our gifts that Father talked about yesterday. Like, I know and I understand conceptually what is going on here. That if I'm about to give my gift and I remember that someone has something against me, I'm supposed to leave my gift. I know that also means that I'm not supposed to have anything against someone else. I get it. I don't like it. Right? Because at some point, you want them to give you something back. You want them to say, like, fine, we'll go with that and we'll roll with you. But you're right, I'm sorry too. Do we need that I'm sorry too? Or do we just keep allowing the crap to come our way and we just keep making sure that we do our part? The answer is we just do our part. We can't control anyone else. All we can control are our reactions, our actions, and what we do with what they give us. And you know, it's very frustrating. I feel this in my own life. Like right now, I'll be honest with you. After you make multiple attempts with someone and they do not reciprocate, what then is your responsibility? And I think the key is to get over yourself. And you make it right the way that Christ tells you to make it right. You keep making those attempts. You do whatever you can so that there is still a pathway. Now, that doesn't mean that you are always going to go above and beyond. And at some point, you might stop. I'll give you a prime example. There was someone that I used to be very, very close with. There was an issue that I was not involved in. And this was a person whose office I would regularly go to and sit with and talk to them. And didn't matter what they were in the middle of when I would stop by their office. They always made time. They'd always come out. They'd always have me come and sit and say hi. If I was like, just driving past and I had a cup of coffee, I'd bring them a cup of coffee. We'd sit for a few minutes. We'd chat. It was always helpful to me to have that relationship. And after something happened between them and someone else, again, something I was not involved in, but something that they assumed I made a decision to be a part of in some way, they stopped being available. Eventually, I stopped coming back. And I was eventually told that I wasn't doing enough for this other person. My response was clearly like, how much are you going to just be told no? How many times can you just be told no again and again? The reality is you just keep going and you keep doing what's right. So when I was getting ready to move here, I told that person I was leaving. They sent me a beautiful text, have a safe trip. I'm sorry I won't be able to see you before you go. I called them on it. And I said, well, the good news is I'm not leaving until April and it's only February. They said, oh, well, I'm sorry, I have a really packed schedule right now. That's on them. But I've done what I'm supposed to do. I guess all of my rambling is to say, at the end of the day, we as warrior saints know what we're supposed to do. And we are called to go out and do it. Now, if you're struggling to figure out what it means and what you are supposed to do, that's where we come in, warriorsaints.org. We've got some great products out there, some great plans that you can implement in your life. One of them is even called a battle plan, something that you can implement right now to take God's word and put it into action in your day-to-day. Now, if you're still not sure what that word is, that's fine. We have something to help you with that too called Understanding the Bible, where you can learn what God's word is and then take it and put it into action through the battle plan. warriorsaints.org. Get it. You're going to love it. It's going to help you navigate when you're confused and asking yourself, what really am I supposed to be doing in this situation? We'll be back again tomorrow, and until we see you then, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.